Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. I took a couple of days off. Feels good. I've hit my sleep goal for 7 days in a row, and I'm ready to get back on the grind. Today, we're going to take a look over here at the Ripple XRP price chart. We'll also peek over there at Bitcoin. And well, this is the week. We've finally made it to the week where we're going to have the Flare Spark token airdrop for XRP holders. There's a lot of buzz around this. We'll talk about it briefly. A couple of things going on over there and kind of my opinions on it. I get asked all the time about what do I think about the Spark token airdrop that will happen for XRP holders. And I'll kind of fill you in a little bit more on what I think of all of that. But first things first, let's talk about what happened to the price action over the last couple of days and the things that I'm really looking for right now. Zooming in on the 1 hour candles for the XRP price chart, the price action did essentially what I kind of expected would over the weekend, that we would just kind of veer over to the right and stay kind of flat. I thought it was a good opportunity to take a couple of days off, seeing what we were looking at right here in this consolidation formation. Consolidation will probably continue for the next few days. As you guys know, we're just stuck right here in the middle of this thing still, so it's going to be a repeat of what we were talking about last week in mid consolidation. You can see we're right at the 50% level of where we topped out and where we bottomed out at. So you are literally in the dead zone, the middle zone right now. Expectations are that it could still play to both ends of the boundary, that we could come down here into the mid 40s. The big breakout for me would be if we got above 72 cents over here. So we're still going to wait. If we look at where the snapshot will take place for the Flare token drop, that's it right over there. I'll get that off the screen. We can see how much time there is leading up till that. One of the things that in here, I'll dive into, a lot of people don't understand what that is, and I'll talk more about that here. So Flare is going to be distributing a new cryptocurrency called Spark, and it's going to be given for free to people who hold XRP. Over the weekend, Coinbase did announce if you do hold your XRP on Coinbase or Coinbase Pro, you will be eligible to receive the Spark when they are distributed. You just need to have your XRP in your account on Coinbase at midnight on December 12th, UTC time. They'll take the snapshot, and then whenever the Spark tokens get distributed, you'll get them for free. I have a lot of mixed opinions about airdrops. In 2017, we saw a ton of them. I've been pretty vocal about it, that I have mixed feelings about it. I know a lot of people want to create excitement. I'm sure a lot of people would love for me to create excitement about it, but I always try to be very realistic on this channel and present, things that I know. And I remember a lot of airdrops back in 2017, and sometimes we see some wild fluctuations in prices that happened right before the snapshot and right after the snapshot. You see people who say, man, should I just, buy XRP 1 minute before the snapshot and then sell it 1 minute after the snapshot to try to get it? And well, it can get pretty complicated, and we can see some pretty big price action happen right around that snapshot time. Sometimes you'll see people load up on bags leading up to it, then the second the snapshot happens, they'll dump their bags. So it creates a lot of volatility that I'm not a huge fan of, because one, it's essentially gambling to the max, because you have literally no idea what a Spark token is going to be worth. Sometimes what we did see a lot in 2017 is leading right up to the snapshot date to create even more buzz and more excitement. You'll start seeing pre-trading of the token. So I would not be surprised if 24 hours, 48 hours before we get to the snapshot, somewhere we're able to see futures trades of whatever Spark is. And so you get a kind of an idea of what the value of it is. At this time, we don't know if one Spark will be worth 10 cents, 1 cent, or 1/10,000th of a cent. And the reason I bring this to your attention is because I get a bunch of messages. I hear it from people, should I be buying more XRP in order to take advantage of the Spark airdrop? And the reality is we have no idea what the value of a Spark token will be. And if XRP loses, just let's see, heads back down to the bottom of just this little teeny range right here and loses 6 or 7 cents. And if the token's only worth 1 cent, you completely lost your money because you were chasing something that was much smaller than the amount of losses you took on your XRP. And considering we usually see sell-offs take place right after snapshots, if you're not the very first one to sell, if you're going to play the game like that, you're most likely going to lose. So airdrops have really never sit well with me because it brings out a lot of greed in people, and we don't really have any idea what the price of this asset will be. If you want to have a better idea of what airdrops are, I found this on airdrops.io. What are airdrops and bounties? So many crypto companies distribute free coins to to their communities to increase their project's visibility, increase the circulating supply, and simulate trade. These free distributions are commonly known as airdrops. So they'll distribute free coins, which is going to be Spark, to their communities, so to the XRP community, to increase the visibility of the project, of Flare's project. Why are crypto projects and ICOs giving away coins for free? The more people who own a cryptocurrency, the more likely it is to become widely adopted and rise in value. Airdrops are effective due to the endowment effect, a phenomenon in which people will ascribe value to things merely because they own them. So it's essentially a marketing campaign. You give away a bunch of free coins, you have now created a new investor community. You have people who are invested in Spark now. If they don't sell off their tokens, and if they don't sell it off and take the money right out the gates, well, then they're going to become long-term holders and they're going to be investors, which means they are likely to buy more Spark again in the future to provide liquidity and buy supports, and they are likely to promote it on Twitter, YouTube, all these things, and create additional visibility and marketing for the campaign merely by giving away the tokens for free and creating a network of people involved. Now, will it become something big? Will it do amazing things? I don't know. On my channel, I'm always looking at charts. We're always talking about mathematics. And so I'm approaching it from that aspect, right? What's going to happen to the price action here, and what kind of things can we be concerned about when it comes to an airdrop? And the things you have to be able to do is to run the math. Are you going to lose more money on XRP than gain in tokens from Flare? Is it mathematically worth it for you to take the shot at adding more XRP just to get this other token? And the real reality of it is there's no way to know. And history always proves that once these tokens do get released, here's what the charts are going to look like. Because I know for a fact a lot of people are going to come to this channel and say, hey, can you do some technical analysis on Spark now that we're all Spark holders, right? Here's what the chart for Spark is going to look like. It's going to look like a straight line down. There will be no TA that can be done on it because it's going to have a massive sell-off right out the gates. All the people who got this money for free are going to take it and sell it and collect their money. There may be rallies that take place in between, but for the most part, the token's going to have to find its floor and settle there. But just know, going into this, a lot of people are going to say, hey, let's do technical analysis on Spark. There will be none to do. It'll be a brand new token with a brand new chart, and it'll look ugly. So one of the questions I will get about this is, well, what is going to happen to XRP during that time frame, right? What is going to happen to the price of XRP as we lead up to this? How far will the crash go after the sell-off happens? And a lot of it really just depends on what happens leading up to it. First of all, I don't think we're going to break our range. So I think we'll stay here within our range. But you have to understand that this range distance is still really far. So it's 14 cents still to the downside just from where we're at right now. I see technically about 13.5 cents. If a Spark is only worth 1 cent, well, there you go. If we head to the bottom end of the range when the airdrop happens, you can see, was it really worth it? But a lot of times people will create a lot of narratives and say the TA doesn't matter and, the event is what matters. So all this stuff that we're doing here can be thrown completely out the window because the airdrop can completely affect it. I beg to differ. There's still going to be buyers that will come in and gladly scoop up XRP down here at the bottom of this range. I do believe this level is going to hold. We look back towards our previous fractals, our previous bull runs, our setups, everything that's led us to this moment, and everything still tells us that level is going to hold down there. So regardless of what happens at this snapshot, if the sell-off is the thing that takes us to the bottom of the range, well, so be it. We finally got there, and now we can start progressing our way to the upside. Or does the excitement of the snapshot be the thing that lifts us out of here and still brings us back down? Either way, the structures will still look the same, and none of it concerns me. I'm not going to be touching my XRP bags personally just because we're having a snapshot. We'll get through this moment in time. Before we know it, this moment will be behind us, and then we can start progressing our way forward, looking towards the future and not worrying about this anymore. And of course, that's my biased opinion right there, saying worrying about it, right? A lot of people are excited about it, but for me, I look at it from what have I seen previously, and the things I've seen previously are massive amounts of volatility, people chasing this thing, people making crazy decisions of buying and selling right around the snapshot time, and typically the token sells off immediately once it gets released on the exchanges. So the new token, so Spark in this circumstance. Will it all play out like that? We'll all have to see. Of course, I can't predict the future like that. This is just what I have seen many, many times. Volatility before the snapshot, sell off after the snapshot, and then the airdropped coin loses value rapidly once it's released on the exchanges. So if things start getting pretty volatile this week and you start getting a little bit concerned of how things are playing out, just remember we've broken above big resistances on really big time frames. It's okay for consolidation to take place in these areas. It's perfectly normal and fine. Bitcoin is still bullish and pushing up against its all-time high with its highest weekly candle close this past week. So the entire market in itself is bullish. So any short-term volatility we see in XRP right now due to this snapshot, due to all of this, is merely temporary because the whole market itself is bullish. When we look at the total altcoin market cap and see the location of where pricing currently is at right over here, you can see our current location takes us over here to about May of 2018. So that's where the average pricing is for the cryptocurrency assets, or at least the altcoins. XRP's current price is sitting where? Right over here at May of 2018. So the pricing for XRP is not above market. So if you know, let's say we were sitting somewhere way up here, right? You would say, well, we're pretty far away from what the rest of the market is doing, and prices probably are going to fall way back down after this snapshot happens so we can get back in line with the market. But that's not the case. The pricing of XRP currently is exactly where it should be in relation to the rest of the market. So we're not overpriced, we're not underpriced, we're right where we should be. And before you know it, we won't be talking about this any longer, and we'll just be talking about moving on up. But all right, there you go. That's going to cover it for the Spark stuff. We'll touch on it again later in this week, but it's not going to be my main focus throughout the week. I'm sure there will be a ton of content out there talking about this airdrop going on this week, but for me, I care way more about the bigger picture. I'm way more focused on the fact that Bitcoin's pressing up against the all-time high and the macro aspect of this market. This is a short-term event. This is something that's just going to take place this week, and then it'll be over, and then it's done with it, right? Then it's going to be a bunch of people hooting and hollering for Spark, and it's unrelated to what I truly care about, and that's monitoring the entire market, the entire macro aspect of this market, where we're going. So if you'd like to get a better idea of what I'm looking at in this market, you could check out my website, bcbacker.com, where I do outline all the things I'm looking for, where I'm looking at the previous Bitcoin bull runs, the altcoin market cycles, where my targets are, where my exit plans are, how I plan on playing this market. I talk about managing emotions, tips and tricks for charts, and I include a downloadable spreadsheet for you to be able to track your own cryptocurrencies as well. So you can check this out over here on bcbacker.com. You can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so glad to be back. It was really, really weird to take 2 days off, but I guess I needed it, right? Then we'd come back even stronger than ever, right? So, all right, let's get this week started. Thank you guys for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.